What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another episode of Player Ratings. Europa Conference League first game last night as we drew 2-2 out in Rennes, in probably which will be our hardest game of the group stage. But let's get straight into it, and let's start off with Nuno for a change this time. We're starting off with Nuno, both giving him a 6. I mean, for me, in terms of the starting lineup, I think he got it absolutely spot on. It's the lineup that everyone wanted to see, and Ndombele in there, Brian Hill in there. The down marks for me is that when things started going wrong, he couldn't really find, well, to be honest, I say he couldn't really find an answer in terms of tactical nous on the pitch to go out and win the game, but he did get the troops to rally and kind of find something in the end of the game to get it back to 2-2, so I guess that's a plus mark. But things just seem to go wrong, time after time with Nuno, with injuries on the pitch, with players quarantining, so it's hard to put him down too much, seeing as we started the game really well yesterday and things only started really going wrong when we started to get injuries.
Yeah, I think it's more when we scored, to be honest. As soon as we scored, we just started to sit back and we lost control of the game. And I'm just a bit disappointed that we didn't look as creative as we should have with the players we had on the pitch. That was the most disappointing thing for me. So I think he still needs to work on maybe the structure of the team, getting players in positions to really hurt the opposition. Other than that, I think the lineup was spot on. I didn't have any complaints about that. And I think he did a really good job with getting Kane off the pitch when the injuries were coming, because I think he had to do that. He was forced into doing that. Other managers would have kept Kane on, but I think he did a good job taking Kane off. And I think he did a good job with the team gaining control again the last 20 minutes and obviously getting the equaliser and getting a good result. So all in all, decent day for Nuno, him personally.
Definitely. Let's move over to the playing staff now. Let's start off with Pierluigi Golini. I gave him a 4. Sim gave him a 5. I think that there were 2 moments in there that really stood out for Golini. Apart from that, he was hardly really tested with one kind of save early on. But the moment was when he spilled a ball and left a really easy chance for one of the Rennes attackers who hit it over. Might have been a bit too high for him to header it in the goal, but he did leave it in a very, very dangerous position. And obviously the last goal as well. I mean, that kind of moment was a sign of things to come, and that last goal to put them 2-1 up, I mean, it wasn't good enough. It really wasn't good enough. I mean, some people are saying that he couldn't have really done better, but I've watched it a few times now, and I feel like he could have put it in a different area of the pitch, not leading to a Rennes player. So I think Golini definitely could have done better in the game yesterday. Maybe a 4 is a bit too harsh, but he did make 2 glaring mistakes yesterday.
Yeah, I think he spilled those 2 shots. That's why I'd be marking him down. I think other than that, he did okay, but those 2 moments were, especially the second one. I think the second goal, it was a good shot, and he did well to get to it. He was kind of at full stretch, but I do feel like he could have got out for a corner if he really tried. And I think he was too focused on stopping the shot, and he parried it into a bad area. Obviously, that cost us, and they went 2-1 up. So I think there's a lot of stuff to work on for Golini.
Definitely. Let's move over to Ben Davies, starting left back on the day. Both of us giving him 6s. In terms of Ben Davies, I mean, he didn't go forward at all, pretty much. I don't remember him going forward once in the game yesterday. But having said that, I don't think anything came down his side. So I think he was kind of nothing defensively went past him. So just the standard Ben Davies performance, really. Yeah,
not too much of note. His passing wasn't too adventurous. Didn't really pass into progressive areas or promising areas. For the second goal, he was the nearest player to it, but I guess he's hard to react when Golini's spilling it like that. I guess he has to work on maybe preempting that Golini's going to spill it and get in front of the defender. I think all the best defenders do that, but we know Davies isn't the best defender, so it is what it is. I think in general, during the game, I think he dealt with their right winger fairly well, so yeah, 6.
Yeah. Moving on to Matt Doherty, 5s all round from us for him. It was an interesting performance from Matt Doherty because it was probably one of his better performances in a Spurs shirt. I was saying that throughout the fan show last night, and a lot of people were digging into Doherty last night on the fan show, and he was getting up the pitch well, he was getting in good positions yesterday, but it's his quality on the ball, getting crosses into the box, which really let him down. But funnily enough, one of those really bad crosses led to one of the goals. So I mean, it was a massive bit of luck because it was a massive deflection, but I mean his ability on the ball, crossing the ball into the area is just woeful. It really is.
especially when he's got time and space to cross it. It just didn't seem to provide any sort of quality. That's when you should, you have to prove that you shouldn't be afforded space, and then that's what helps the team, because if defenders are drawn to you, then it opens up space for other players. But if a player feels like, oh, I can just let him cross, and then there's no consequence to that, then that makes you an average player, really. And I feel like that's the case with Doherty. Just let him cross and cross throughout the game, and he had no quality. He did get forward decent amount, but still lack of end product with Doherty. And when that attacking fullback he's supposed to be, it's really disappointing. So defensively, he did have a bit of a tough time occasionally against the left winger, but by and large he did okay. But I think he struggled more against the left winger than Davis against the right winger.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
Defensively wasn't too great, and attacking not too great either.
Yeah, which moves us on to Joe Rodon. I gave him a 7. You gave him a 6. I mean, I thought he dealt with everything that came his way pretty much by and large. I thought nothing. You can't really fault him for any of his defensive displays yesterday. And I think that he was being quite aggressive, especially early on in the game, coming into the middle of the park to find the ball in search of the ball, and being quite successful in doing so. So I thought he had a good game yesterday, Joe Rodon.
Yeah, I think he did decent. And as well, stepping his midfield a few times. But I'd like to see him a bit more aggressive. I like to see it. We need to be stepping up a bit more in these games and trying to play a bit of a higher line. And I feel like we were caught a bit too deep. And I think Rodon had a fine game. I had no problem with him. I think it was more of the team around him. But that's all I would say about Rodon. Yeah, I think he did fine.
Yeah. Moving on to Japhet Tanganga, both of us giving him a 6. And I was going to give him the same rating as Rodon, but I thought Tanganga actually had a bit of a dodgy first half, and he looked quite nervy on the ball at times. But having said that, I thought he definitely grew in the game, and I thought second half, I thought he was immense, and I thought he was a man mountain at the back there. But I just marked him down for his few nervy moments in the first half.
Yeah, and I felt like for the first goal, he might have been able to get closer to the midfielder who had a shot on goal. He obviously scored. I think he could have got a bit closer to him, but he let him have the shot, which obviously led to the goal. But I think Tanganga, throughout the game, actually, you could see as he grows with confidence, like he wasn't afraid to, maybe if he's going for a clearance, actually try to pass it to someone or get it to someone's feet and stuff like that. You see that kind of confidence growing, which all the best defenders had that bit of composure, where it's not just about hoofing it out, it's about maybe when you're clearing it, measured clearance, maybe to try and find a teammate and stuff like that, which is what impressed me a bit by Japhet. But quality on the ball still needs to improve.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to the midfield, Ollie Skip, 5s all round from us for him. And I felt that on his birthday as well, by the way. So happy birthday to Ollie Skip for yesterday. I mean, he put in a lot of tireless effort yesterday into the game, running around like a bit of a madman. But I felt like his quality on the ball in terms of passing let him down yesterday. And there were quite a few stray passes from him yesterday, which is not really characteristic of him, seeing as what he's performed so far this season. So it wasn't the greatest performance from him yesterday, in my opinion.
Yeah, when he's playing that central role, I want to see him set the tempo a bit more. I want to see him making quicker passes, quickening the play enough, getting involved. He obviously did get involved in the first goal. But other than that, we didn't see him too much involved with any passing moves and stuff like that. So I think on the ball, he still needs to up his game if he's going to really be a starter for Tottenham long term. He needs to have that ability to be spraying cross-field passes on point and stuff like that. We know he has the ability to do it, but he just needs to show it on the pitch on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Ndombele, 7s all round from us for Tanguy, and it was a mixed bag in my opinion from him. I know we've given him a 7, but that's just because of the sheer quality he showed on the ball yesterday. I mean, the first 15 minutes from him was absolutely sensational. I mean, in those first 15 minutes, he created more for us than we've created all season combined. So I think for that, I thought he was sensational. It was a breath of fresh air on the ball. The amount of trickery. I mean, the Rennes players just didn't know what to do with him. They just did not know what to do with him. If he would go right, if he looked like he was going right, he would go left. It looked like he was going left, he would go right. I mean, the guy was absolutely unplayable at times, but he just didn't have that kind of impact throughout the whole game. I thought after 15, 20 minutes, he went a bit missing in that first half. In the second half, when he moved a bit further forward, I thought he didn't impact the game as much as he should have. So it was really for that first 15 minutes, he was a magician on the ball. He really was, and it was a breath of fresh air, something that we've been missing in the team for a while now, since he's pretty much left the team just before that cup final. For the first goal, I felt he should have done a lot better. The Rennes attacker just simply breezed past him, and he needs to be stronger there, Ndombele. And off the ball as well, I would say he needs to be doing a lot more work, because he was just walking around at times.
Yeah, but also, it also doesn't go miss the amount of times you see him tracking back, and the amount of times he was in our own corner making tackles, blocking crosses. He did that a few times as well. So you got to note the good stuff he does off the ball as much as when he is walking around. But yeah,
but for their goal, yes, he tracked back, but he got breezed past way too easily.
Yeah, but he still did other good work as well throughout the game. So there was good and bad off the ball. I don't think it was all bad, but I would say on the ball, yeah, definitely our best player. Even in the second half, he was the second goal. He was one who played the ball out to Doherty, which obviously led to the goal, and he was the only one providing any sort of spark in the centre that looked like we were going to create anything. So. It was really, really good from Ndombele in general, and he was the best of a bad bunch. That's the truth. Because I think
it's a good platform to build on, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and for his first, he looked like he wanted to prove that he wants to be, in back in the first team picture. And I was very happy in general. Not very happy. I was happy with the spark he provided, and that back heel for the first goal as well. Absolutely brilliant piece of skill, which opened the pitch up, and obviously led to Spurs going 1-0 up. And we're going to need him. I really believe we're going to need him. He's going to be the key. If we're going to link the midfield to the attack, he's going to be the key to that.
Yeah, and it's just shown us what we've been missing all season pretty much. Mm-hmm. And, he's a player that every time he gets on the ball, it makes fans get on their feet. I mean, he's a special talent. There's no two ways about it. But let's move on to Bryan Gil. We gave him 6s all round. And I thought Bryan Gil, the effort he put into the game yesterday, absolutely second to none. Probably the hardest working player on the pitch yesterday, running around like a headless chicken. It reminded me a bit of Lamela sometimes, actually, because, just running around complete like a headless chicken, putting in challenges left, right and centre. But I thought that on the ball, he lacked a bit of quality yesterday. And I felt that, he got lost in the game a little bit yesterday. He did create that chance in the second half, which was good play from him. But, you call on him to do that more in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think the second half, that run in between two players onto the byline, which a nice cross across the face of goal, which was begging to be tapped in, and also provided a really good cross for Scarlett as well, whose header went wide. He could have scored from that as well, so that was decent from Gil. I think he showed the quality when he got in those sort of positions. I did feel like when he was like deep centrally, didn't really see enough of him making through balls or looking dangerous and stuff like that. I thought he actually did look better on the wing, funnily enough, this time than he did centrally. But his work rate was second to none. His work rate was brilliant, closing people down, never stops running. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yeah, which moves over to Steven Bergwijn. 5s all round from us. Went off after half an hour. With that injury. I mean, I thought he probably shouldn't have started in the first place, but probably should have mentioned that in Nuno's rating, to be honest. But he did start. He went off injured after 30 minutes, which proved why he probably shouldn't have started. I just think we're a better team with Bergwijn in it than without it. I think he provides us with something that, maybe some of our other forward line can't provide us with. In the first half an hour, I mean, it was our best moment in the game, wasn't it? The first 15-20 minutes with him in it. There's not much to note because he went off so early, but I just think he impacted in the game positively. But it's just a shame he went off after half an hour.
Yeah, he got lumps kicked out, and that's the truth. A few times he was getting kicked, and he was going down. He was getting angry.
Like they were targeting him, didn't they?
He was getting angry with the fullback, and ends up with him going off injured. I don't think he did too much, to be honest, in the first half. I can't remember too many things he did in the first half an hour, but can't really rate him too harshly because he went off injured.
Yeah. But do you not agree that we are a better team with him in it than without it?
Depends. I mean, we have looked so far this season, yeah. But when we've got 3 on the pitch and it's Son, Kane, is it Lucas? Is it Bergwijn? Do we take Son out? Do we take Kane out?
Son and Kane haven't played together this season, have they?
Not start. They started against Watford. And Bergwijn's side as well in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, In general, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say whether I can make a conclusion yet that we're better with Bergwijn than without Bergwijn.
All right.
It's too early.
Let's move on to Lucas Moura. 6s all round from us. I thought he started the game positively with a lot of running. Obviously, it was his great work of driving into the space that did result in our first goal. Yes, it was a cross that ended up in the goal, but it was Lucas's hard work that got us there. He went off injured after around 54 minutes, but I thought he had a positive first half, but can't really make much more of a comment, to be honest.
Yeah, obviously got the goal as well. Kind of got the goal, massive deflection. Did well there. I think he got a bit lucky as well because I don't think the ball was going to make its way to Bergwijn on the far post. It's pretty much what you get with Lucas before the injury. A bit of industry, running ability, dribbling ability. Again, not much final product. Not able to make the final pass or get a shot off and stuff like that. Still needs to work on that. But his kind of skill set we're going to massively need against Chelsea. So if he's out for that game, which looks likely, it's a massive blow for Spurs.
Definitely. And then Harry Kane, 4s all round from us. And another game, in my opinion, where he's gone anonymous throughout the game. I thought in the first half he was dropping deep a lot in search of the ball, but I just can't remember. I mean, there was that one pass. I think it was it to Matt Doherty for the goal.
No, the goal to Lucas.
Sorry, to Lucas for the goal. But apart from that, I really don't remember anything that he did in the game yesterday. And I think that he really needs to buck up his ideas on the pitch. And I think that we need to see better performances from Harry Kane. We nearly do. And he's our talisman. He's our world-class talent that was on the pitch yesterday. And he needs to be grabbing these games by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, it's important to know he did go off after 52 minutes. So he did, he had obviously 50 minutes to influence the game, but he did go off very early. So who knows what would happen in the last half an hour or 40 minutes or so. But I think it was the right decision to take him off. We need to save him for Sunday because with Lucas and Bergwijn going down with injuries, if Nuno had another injury to Kane, we would have been completely stuck and screwed in an attacking point of view. So it's the right decision. But yeah, you're right. Kane needs to get more involved from an attacking point of view, or we need to get in a position to get him more involved because at the moment it just doesn't seem it's not working, the dynamic up front. He obviously linked up well with Ndombele for the first goal, but Kane, when Kane's at his best, when he's getting shots on goal and he's getting on the ball in and around the penalty area, and he just wasn't doing that. And if he's being crowded out, then you've got to make sure you're exploiting the space being left by the other defenders crowding him out, and we're just not doing that either. So he needs to work on how best to influence games at the moment, and Spurs need to work on how best to get him more involved because at the moment he's being way too easily defended.
Yeah. Which moves us over to the substitutes, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who came on after half an hour for Steven Bergwijn. It's 7s all round from us, and I thought he was brilliant when he came on yesterday. We just need him on the pitch all the time, Pierre. I mean, that's how important he is to us, and it showed yesterday. As soon as he came on, we were much more solid in that middle of the park. He gained us that control, well, in the second half anyway, of that midfield, and he obviously got that goal with a nice little poacher's effort running into the box with a nice little finish under the keeper. And you could see throughout the game, Nuno was in his ear, giving him instructions, giving him instructions to give to the team and stuff like that. And he seemed like the captain on the pitch yesterday without actually having the armband. Yeah,
I was really good from Højbjerg, and I was happy he took responsibility when coming on the pitch. He really gave us that element of control. Even at the end of the first half, I felt he did that as well. And in the second half, he, for the last 20 minutes or so, really stepped up when we needed him. Nice finish, harder than look that finish. So well played from Højbjerg, and going to need him massively on Sunday.
And every other game. Let's move on to Emerson Royal coming on for Harry Kane after 54 minutes. We gave him a 5. I mean, he did see quite a lot of the ball, and you could see a lot of effort and desire in there from him. But again, a bit similar to Matt Doherty in terms of not getting good deliveries into the box. He was getting in really good positions, Emerson, but he just couldn't get that good delivery into the box. And as well, on top of that, the Rennes players were being really physical with him. He went down about 3 or 4 times, and you just never know each time if he was going to get up. But I like the effort and the desire from Emerson. I just think he needs to up his quality a bit.
Yeah, he did seem like a right winger, right back playing right winger. It literally
Yeah.
played exactly like that. I actually thought he took up some nice positions and used his pace quite well on a few occasions. There was like one moment where he was able to get a shot off, but he ballooned it well over the bar. Very much a right back's effort. Can't remember too many times he even tried a cross. Every time he got in a crossing position, he laid it off for Doherty and allowed Doherty to get the cross in, which I thought was odd. Didn't enough of the time to get to the byline and just whip it in. But yeah, I think under the circumstances, he did a decent job. Wasn't great as a right winger, but I think as for his circumstance, I think he came on and did okay actually.
All right, and last but not least, Dane Scarlett coming on. Also 54 minutes, a big opportunity for him. Sim gives him a 4, I gave him a 5. And the reason I'm giving him a 5 is because I felt sorry for him like I did in the last game he played. You know, not much service. And, you know, if Harry Kane is not looking good up top, I mean, how's Dane Scarlett supposed to look? You know, he's just feeding off complete scraps. He's trying to run around, trying to make things happen, trying to get involved in the game, but it just wasn't happening for him. There was that one chance with that diving header, which went wide, but I'm not really going to mark him down too much on that. But, you know, I'm not marking him down. It's the service he's getting, to be honest.
Yeah, there was also one moment I remember he was on the left-hand side, he cut inside and he lays it off to Emerson, who got it to Højbjerg, had a volley, and that volley went straight to the keeper. But other than that, he wasn't getting too involved. I think he had to come on, so I think it was a good maybe opportunity for Nuno to give Scarlett a bit more playing time as well. So I was excited to see what he was going to do. Unfortunately, weren't too many opportunities for him to get on the ball and get a shot off and stuff like that. And the only big chance he really got was that header, which went wide. So it was a bit of a shame, but didn't do too much.
Yeah. And obviously Dele Alli came on with about 7 minutes to go, but it was a bit too late for him to give a rating. But look, that is it. That is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of our ratings, and put your ratings in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.